To give us 4 apricot, 6 nectarine, 5 plum, 44 peaches, and 8 pecan. Hey folks, I'm David, and this is Living Texas Hidden Spring Farm. Today, we're going to be trying to complete this portion of the fence. If you've seen any of our other videos, we've been working our tails off trying to get this new area ready for our cattle. But it has been a task, to say the least. So today, we're going to be putting T-post in and stretching fence. Y'all come on and join us. So the first thing I have to do is I need to get my measuring tape set out. We're going to put the T-post every 8 feet. So I just got to mark the ground and figure out where I'm going to put those T-posts. All right, so we got a number of T-posts that are going in, but if I go ahead and go by my 8-foot marking on this, when I get to the end here, I'm at 112, and if I go to 120, that means it's only going to be 4 foot until that solid wood post that's in concrete. So they're all evenly spaced going out into the open. What I'm going to do from 112 to 124, I'm going to split that in half at 6 foot. So it'll be 6 foot from this T-post and 6 foot from that post. It'll look just a little bit closer, but it won't look so compact at the end, and I get everything I need in the fence. Some people only put T-post every 10 feet, and I've heard people put them as close as 6 feet. Just depends on what your fence is. Here, we do everything at 8 feet. But this, I don't want to leave a big gap, and then I don't want a little wasted T-post that close to the wood structure or the wood post. So I'm going to just split this last distance in half and do it at 6 foot. We got them marked. Now it's time to put them in. Not bad at all. Ground still soft from the rain. So the next step is we're going to take the string down, our guide string. We're going to unroll the fence, try to roll it up this hill, and come back down here and tack it off, because we're going to be pulling fence that way to try to get it tight before we nail it to any of these other posts. So let's get busy. So while I've been doing all the hard work out here putting up fence, Christy, Miss Hidden Spring Farm, she's been doing harder work. She's in the garden getting some food to feed me. What'd you got?
I got basil, and I got the first green bean crop.
Got a bunch of green beans.
I've got big kahuna, blue lake bush.
Don't say that out loud on camera.
And I think there's one other one, but I can't remember.
I don't know.
There's 3 different kinds of green beans.
She's in charge of the vegetables. I'm in charge of eating them. So I don't know what she's growing exactly. I just know they're beans. And we got some basil, we got some zucchini, we got some squash, we got some cucumbers. We got, how many different kind of peppers
We've got banana, we've got cool pepper, jalapeno pepper, red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, green bell pepper, and then a mix. And then some
You can just say we're a hot farm, but we got a bunch of peppers. And then we got like 4 different kinds of beans, purple hull peas.
Purple hull, And then the 3 kinds of green beans.
Purple hull, 3 kinds. And we joke with you a lot, and even you've seen some stuff on that I've had on some other videos, and we've had comments about, you know, our raised bed garden's real small and all. But listen, before we moved up here, we're just trying to get this place in shape. Before we moved up here at the other place, we had a garden that was 20,000 square feet. Is that right? The number's 200 by 100. Mm-hmm. We had a pickle business, and we sold pickles to, we sold them at different feed stores and things like that. So we're getting ready to take all of this from some of the raised beds, and this area here, if you watched our last video, this area right here with the grass and the hay and all this right here, this whole area here is going to be a ground garden. You can see just above the grass over there where our raised beds are. We got 4 over there. So this all is going to be a ground garden for us. And sorry about moving the camera around like that. But we got that going, and we're seriously considering on another part of our property. It's about 6-8 acres that's between us and the only neighbor we have. We're thinking about doing a pumpkin patch or something like that, so we can take the pumpkins and, you know, donate them, use what we're going to use, give to our family, friends, things of that nature, and then donate the rest for some type of organization for kids or churches or something to that effect. Plus, that's where our new peach orchard's going in, which she doesn't like because we already got enough peach trees over here. But we're going to put, it's just going to be a small little orchard. We're going to have 24 peach trees over there, different varieties, and we're going to have what, two different types of pecan, right? We got it, because we got to plant 2 different kinds. So we're planting those pecan trees, but what's kind of neat about those and sad at the same time, when we put those pecan trees in, because I love the look of pecan trees, when you put those in, I'll never see them mature. My son might see them mature, but his kids definitely will be able to see mature pecan trees that his grandparents or their grandparents planted before they were even born. But next to those will be the 24 others. So that would bring us what on peach trees? That would bring us, well, after we put the ones in this fall that we got to put in, that'll bring us to 44, I believe, because we'll have 20 over here, along with our plum, nectarine, and apricot. And apricot. If you hadn't watched the video we did on our pear trees, go check that video out, because we had some fire blight get on those, and so we literally had to extract them. And guess what we put in their place? Peach trees. So we'll have 20 over here, 24 on the other piece of property over there, so we'll have a total of 44 peach trees, 5 plum. Though we got to put in 3 more nectarines, so that'll give us 6 nectarine and 2 more apricots, so that'll give us 4 apricot, 6 nectarine, 5 plum, 44 peaches, and 8 pecan. And
we'd like to try apple, but we've heard they have the same issues as pear with blight.
Yeah, we get this part of Texas, northeast Texas, has a real problem with fire blight on pears and apple. So we would like to put in some apple, but I kind of warned her about the fire blight on the apples, because I like green apples. She doesn't. She likes all them fancy different color red ones. So if I can't have green, we're just going to go with apricot and nectarine. No, actually, it does mess with apples around here, so we want to try to negate spending extra money we don't need to spend. We might get 1 or 2 different kind of apples just to see how it goes and put them somewhere else, but they definitely won't be over near Orchard 1 and Orchard 2. We'll just have them somewhere in the yard somewhere else. So.
All right, well, I'm headed in, take all this, and I will see you later.
All right.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it. Back to fencing, folks. Back to your regularly scheduled program. we got the fence rolled out. We did run into a couple of problems with my little idea, so I'm never doing that again. What we're going to do now is instead of detaching the verticals and wrapping it around the pole, I'm just going to nail it to the post, and then we're going to go up, tighten the fence up, and stretch it out and tighten it up. So here we go. All right, so we had a problem with the nail gun with the battery. So we went in, charged everything up. We're out here trying to finish up this fence. So we're getting to it. I've literally, I don't know if you guys saw the other video that came out before this one. This side of the fence has caused us so many problems. I have no clue why we're having such a hard time on such a short stretch of fence, but it seems we are. We're going to go up and start pulling fence, and might have to do a little bit of dirt work where the fence is rubbing the ground on the high spots. We'll worry about that here in a minute, but let's go stretch some fence. All right, so what we're stretching our fence with is this. This is what I've used every time to stretch this net wire fence. There are some positive and there are some negatives with it. The positive is I've got a stretcher here that I do not, and so I do not have to spend money on some other stretcher, which is usually the flat that press each side on the fence, and you pull the fence and you have to knock out the little wedges and all that. So I'm saving money by not buying one of those. One of the downsides is to this is meant for another type of fence. It's got the hooks, 3 hooks on it. We use a come along to hook here and pull it taut. The downside is the vertical pieces on the woven fence, they don't break, they slide from their location. So once you get it tight, there might be some that are out of vertical or out of line, and you just got to move them back with a pair of pliers. You just grab them and pull them back. So, but I'm using what I got, and it's saving me some money. So those of you that want to make comments about that's the wrong stretcher, I've used it every time. I've probably used it for 15 years now, 20 years now, and it's worked every time. Just causes me a little bit of extra work. So here we go. All right, so you see the pullers on there. We're going to go right here, start using the come along. Should stay up, babe. All right, as y'all can see, the fence is tight enough to stand up. So now we just walk down the fence and adjust it closer to the T-post. Let's see how much more we can get pulled before we got to get another bite. We do have it tightening, but just what I thought, we're going to have a problem here. You can tell right here in the dirt where the fence is grabbing and dragging, and then it's got another area right here. So we just need to get those fixed. You can see how the top looks a little bit tighter. It does look down here like we've got, just show you here. See how it looks loose over there on the H? Well, that's because this ground over here is too high. So I'm going to have to take the shovel and do some hand work underneath this. And you can tell where it's not high over there, it looks plenty tight. So with this pushing up, that's pushing back. And so that just tells you that the rain we got that washed more of this dirt down here on top of what I had drug over with the tractor is a little bit too much for this. So just make some adjustments and we'll be good. All right, as you can see, the ground's a little high right here. So I'm just going to knock this down a little bit. So there can be some movement when I do start pulling again. And that'll tighten the top over there at the H. This ground's just so uneven. There's going to be some high spots and low spots. Right, I think that takes care of all the high spots. So we had a problem while I was cranking. The chain came loose. So what it did was slip up on the corner post and started pulling high. So we're just going to pull it down, get it set down, get it tacked, stapled in, and we'll be good. All right, so you can see it's tight all the way down. We just need to pull it back with some and secure it against the T-post, but it is tight fence all the way down. You barely have anything going on here, but this is what I was telling you. The chain slipped over there, so now we're going to have to hold this one down that takes the most staples, pull it down against the come along and try to get it secured down before we cut it. All right, so we made an adjustment on the chain to keep it from slipping. We unhooked everything. We're going to re-pull here and get this part here tight. All right, well, guess what? We ran into another problem. This south fence is driving us insane. We've had more problems. Really, it's not the fence this time as it was on the last video if you watched it. It is my batteries for my equipment. We have gone through 7 batteries today. They are old and worn out, so they don't take a full charge. And so we were just down there securing that other end, and the best battery I got ran out. So we got to wait for it to charge. So in the meantime, I'm going to show you how we put these up on the T-post, and it's not very conventional, because usually you take those little wraps, those wire wraps that come with the T-post, wrap it around, and then you got to go around the deal. We are not sponsored by these people at all. Not at all. This is Lockjaw's T-post spring wire clips. And I'm going to tell you what, I swear by them. I've used them on this entire property on not only this, but I've used it on our barbed wire fencing. And in one stretch of fence, how long is that fence, babe? 1,600 feet on the back, 1,800 foot of 6-strand barbed wire on the back side of our pasture for our cattle. And I use clips on every one of them, and I'm going to show you how they work. We put 4 on a T-post. I'm sure that there's a possibility that you're supposed to have 5, but I use 4. And let me show you how they work. So this is all it is. It is just a clip, just like this. And it's spring loaded. It flexes. So what I do is I take it, wrap it around the wire, then that little portion here goes around the back side of the T-post. You clip it in, pull the wire here, and now all you do is just flex, and it's on. It clips both sides. And if you want to close them down, you can close them down. I haven't closed down one of them. The only problem I do have with these clips is where the fence is like this, but the cows are inside, and they get up and rub on the fence here, and they've popped some of the clips off because of their weight on the fence and against the T-post. So all I do is go back and close them up on that, and we're good. So I put 4 T-posts. I do the top strand, then I go 1, 2, 3, put 1, and then all the way down, I go 1 up from the bottom and 4 in between. So let me show you. So I pull the fence up tight, and I'm going to go on the wire that's horizontal to the ground, 1 up from the bottom. I'm going to take the clip, put it on, pull the fence tight. This goes around. Then I take this, push it with my thumb, and it goes around on the other side here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. Clip it on, goes around the T-post. Take this, push with my thumb, and it's going to wrap around that same wire right there. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put this one on. Clips on that side. Comes in. This one, I just had to pull the fence a little bit, and it clips right on. We got to do that on every T-post. So that is 64 of them. Hey, so listen, guys. We're out here in the woods by ourselves. We're having a construction moment, right? It's a romantic construction moment with fence. But I want to tell y'all, this right here is Christy. She is the queen of Live in Texas Hidden Spring Farm. But she's known as my thing. She's my thing. And I'll tell you why she's my thing. Because the Bible says, when you find a wife, you find a good thing. So she's my thing. Christy's my thing. She can't argue against it. It's in the Bible. Look it up. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk down and I'm going to put a clip on every T-post on the top wire, and then I'll fill in from there going back. So lighting's getting bad. It's kind of getting in the evening time here. So I'm going to work down the fence, putting a clip on the top of each T-post. Look here, all the lockjaw spring clips are on. Got 1 on, or 4 of them on every T-post, all the way down. And look at this. Looks good. It's tight. Clips are really good. I will be a little forthcoming on a couple of them. If the T-post isn't lined up with the fence just right, you got to push it hard. All right, guys. We'll see y'all in the morning. I'm going to finish stapling fence, cut this excess off, and this will be ready for a gate. All right, folks. Well, it's the next day. The batteries are charged up. Let's hope that they're not so worn that they won't last for this little session here, because all I have to do is finish stapling to the poles. Then I'm going to cut it with the grinder. If that doesn't work, I'm going to cut with snips, and then we're going to be done with this project. Let's finish up. The battery lasted. Thank you, Lord. All right, so all I have left to do now is relieve the pressure on the come along. Then we'll come over and cut this off, and this portion of the fence will be done. All right, folks. This pole right here is where the gate's going to hang. It'll be a 16-foot wide gate. And here's the fence. On this portion here is complete. We got it up and it is in. There you go. So this portion over here will be in our yard out there. I showed you what was going to be the garden. And once again, this is the area we're going to clean up a little bit in here. Brush hog. We got to put this fence up and that fence over there and put a 16-foot gate out there. And then this whole area right here will be for the cattle. Get in and stay cool during the summer. Well, that's it, guys. We appreciate you joining us for another episode of Live in Texas, Hidden Spring Farm. Do us a favor if you hadn't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Hey, happy Father's Day to all you guys. That's right. Today is Father's Day. If you're a father, happy Father's Day. Man, there's nothing like it. It is the best thing in the world to be a dad. They didn't give me a manual with being a father. So I've had some ups and downs as far as doing what I'm supposed to do, but they say you always have ups and downs. So I know one thing. I love my kid. I love everything about him. I'm proud to be his dad. So happy Father's Day to you guys. We'll see y'all next time. Live in Texas, Hidden Spring Farm. Have a blessed day.